Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Steins. In the last episode, we tried valiantly to save Mayuri not once but twice. The first by trying to go through the subway, where she was inadvertently thrown onto the tracks by none other than her best friend Naitanuji, and subsequently run over by the approaching train before we could escape. In the next time leap that followed, Rintaro attempted to escape with Mayuri via taxi. Unfortunately, SERN was always 3 steps ahead, and thanks to a rather shady road inspection, one of SERN's agents were able to infiltrate the taxi and murder Mayuri before Rintaro and Mayuri could escape. How many times must we do this? How many times must we leap back in order to keep Mayuri Shina alive? Probably too many times, if it's honest. This time I take her to the closest police station and beg them to protect her. When asked why, I explain that someone is going to kill Mayuri 6 hours from now. But without any proof that there's someone after her, they have no choice but to turn us away. It's past 6 by the time we leave the station, and we're left with no choice but to keep running. I wish that I could blame my previous failures on bad luck. We could try the other stations again, and maybe this time she won't die. But I don't have the courage to try those routes again. At the same time, we can't stay in Akihabara. We're running out of options. Subways, trains, and taxis all out. Attempting escape by those means will get Mayuri killed, so my heart tells me. Perhaps the fear is irrational, but I can't put it out of my mind. I've seen her die half a dozen times already. Shot, stabbed, torn to pieces. I can't go through that again. But thou must, unfortunately. We take refuge in Yodobashi Camera. Actually, here's a thought. I thought we could keep hiding in there indefinitely, but just after 7, we hear an explosion from in front of the station. Maybe just a random errant thought. What if we hid in the penthouse suite of Feiris Nyan Nyan, aka Rumiho Akiha? It might be dangerous for Rumiho and her father, but any sort of protection at this point is better than nothing. Unfortunately, there's an explosion in front of the station. Yodobayashi goes into chaos. Policemen appear and start evacuating the store. When I try to explain our situation, an officer shouts terrorist and pulls his gun. This can't be happening. This isn't America. Japanese police don't shoot without provocation. And unfortunately, the person that they shoot is Mayuri Shina. It happened so fast. The policeman shoots her right in the head. I don't know if he was a real policeman or a CERN assassin in disguise, but it doesn't matter. The outcome was the same. I can't deny it any longer. The worldline itself is killing Mayuri. And once again into the breach. We truly are in a Kobayashi Maru, a no-win scenario. This time we jump back all the way back to 2:30 in the afternoon. This time, I don't leap into action immediately. Instead, I sit on the couch and collect my thoughts. Every time I try to save Mayuri, it ends in the worst possible way. To make matters worse, I no longer even know what I'm supposed to be saving her from. Cause and effect. Why does Mayuri keep dying? To begin with, it was SERN. At first I thought that it was Moeka and her hit squad sent by SERN to steal our time machine. But as I leapt back in time again and again, the cause of Mayuri's death kept changing. At Shin Ochanomizu Station, she died because Nai pushed her onto the platform. SERN had nothing to do with that. It was an accident, pure and simple. Each time I leap, she dies a different way. What does that mean? I've been thinking for an hour and I'm no closer to an answer. I want someone to tell me, but who can I ask? I'm the only person in history to leap through time. No, there is one other person. John Titor. It's time we finally put an end to this mystery once and for all. Except he's not replying to our emails anymore. And he hasn't posted on our ad channel in days. I'm not even convinced he's a real time traveler. I decide not to run this time. Instead, I take a different approach. Strike first. I send Moeka an email. I need to talk to you about our time machine. Meet me alone. Probably not a good idea. Considering the fact that she is a SERN agent, she will almost certainly have backup at her disposal. I designate the roof of Radai Khan as our meeting place. 2 weeks have passed since the satellite crashed, but it's still there and the building is still closed. At least the security has lessened, so it's easy for me to sneak in. Not that there's any sneaking to do, I just walk in the front door like I belong there. No one questions me. Last time I came here was for Dr. Nakabashi's presentation. Of course, in this worldline, that presentation was cancelled. Naturally, there is nobody here but me. It occurs to me that this is a dangerous gambit. Moeka might have a gun and I already know that she's willing to use it. But then I don't intend to play fair either. We're supposed to meet at 5:30. It's just after 5. I came early in order to ambush her. Of course, unfortunately, she might anticipate, or at the very least be wary of such an ambush. I hide in the shadows and wait with bated breath. If she comes with backup, our plan is basically sunk at this point. Someone approaches. About 30 minutes later, I hear the door open. Moeka makes her entrance, alone, and not dressed in her SERN outfit this time. She looks around restlessly. She still hasn't noticed me. I take a gun out of my shirt. It isn't real, of course. It's Future Gadget number 1, the particle bit gun that is used for changing the CRT in the Future Gadget lab. It's just a toy with a remote control attached. Obviously a bluff, but all I could prepare on such short notice. I run up behind her and shove the particle bit gun into her bag.
動くな。両手を上げろ。
Just like a Hollywood movie. But this isn't a movie. This is real. And she isn't an actress. She's a murderer. Well, technically not yet, as she hasn't actually killed Mayuri yet, although considering the fact that she works for SERN, she possibly has a lot of blood on her hands already, so it's probably a good, in fact, yeah, forget I said anything. After Moeka raises her hands, I feel through her clothes. The most important thing we actually need is her phone. Sure enough, she's carrying a gun. A real one this time, so we don't have to keep up the charade. I take it from her and press it to her back in place of the particle bit gun.
残念だったな。最初の銃はおもちゃだ。
Don't give away your trade secrets. But it was clever on your part.
話を聞きたい。お前がセルンの刺客であることは分かっている。
Indeed, the very same people who we are actually trying to prevent from causing a worldwide dystopia, by the way.
なぜ？
知りたいのか？知りたいのかよ！
My frustration and rage boil over. Because of Moeka. Because of her, Mayuri
俺はタイムマシンで未来から来た。冗談だと思っているのか。だが俺はすでに4、5回は同じ時間を繰り返してきた。
I've lost count of how many times exactly, but it's definitely a lot, and I haven't slept all of that entire time. Strangely, I'm not tired at all.
だからこれからお前たちが何をするかも知っている。7時過ぎに電車が止まる。爆破予告のせいでな。
Yes, indeed. We do know the plan. At last, Moeka gasps. So it was their doing.
お前と仲間たちが今日ラボを襲撃することも知っている。
Yeah, speaking of which, we should be wary just in case one of them decides to show up.
そこでお前がマユリを殺すこともだ。
私が
理解したか。俺がタイムリーパーだと。
Moeka nods faintly. I could kill her now. It would be easy. Unfortunately, there probably wouldn't be much point in doing so, because even if we did, her men would still be after us, and I had considered briefly using her as a hostage in this situation, but given the way, especially the ringleader of who spoke to Moeka in the original encounter, it's safe to assume that we'll probably kill the two of us rather than negotiate. But we need information.
お前たちはセルンの何なんだ。
ラウンダー。
Rounders, eh? Moeka answers with surprising obedience. I guess she values her own life, even though she has no problem depriving people of theirs.
ラウンダー。一体どういう組織なんだ。セルンとの関係性は。
So basically a group of hired mercenaries and thugs, basically.
メールで。
And they communicate only through email.
ダメだ。口頭で説明しろ。
ラウンダーはセルンとは別組織。
So yeah, they're basically the hired muscle, the contracts, if you will, contract killers.
公には出てこない。
Well, they may be covert operations, but I'm entirely glad that we're not up against the Umibozu from Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. If that were the case, we would definitely be sunk at this
そういう
point.
扱い。
Indeed you don't, which begs the question, when you actually complete your mission, what's going to happen to you and the others? Just
秘密の
saying.
傭兵部隊か。
違う。
Basically a group of
IBN
thugs.
5100
But apparently their mission
情報収集と回収のため
is to collect all the IBNs around the world to prevent anyone from breaking into CERN's database that is protected by the IBN proprietary code. See what happens when you use logic to figure things out, adventurers? When I put 2 and 2 together, that's when I didn't trust you. Your over-obsession, I was willing to accept that you were a PC retromaniac like Faris' father, but the disappearance of said IBN 5100 and your surprise at the name of CERN spoke volumes louder than words.
世界中に散らばってそれを集める
When I met her, she was looking for one. These days, they're nearly impossible to find. People would pay millions just to own one. Is that because CERN has been hunting them down? Very much
ラ
so.
ウンダーの規模は。
Probably dozens, if not hundreds.
答えろ。
知らないまただから
So she is just a CERN agent. She has no real information. So she's not important enough to be told.
俺が手に入れた IBN5100 を盗んだのもやはりお前だな。
In one of the in the worldline where she sent her D-mail, that would almost certainly be the case, but we have to remember that Rukuko's subsequent D-mail changed the worldline somewhat. Moeka doesn't answer. I
なぜ
figured as much.
IBN5100 の情報をハッキング対策か。
We should probably let her know the truth about what else we actually know about CERN, and undermine her supposed loyalty to them.
機密保持
Maintaining secrecy. Do you even know what these people do to other people, by the way?
最も優先すべき事項だから
But Moeka is unfortunately loyal to a fault, it would seem. Indeed, the very people that want to take over this particular world line and every other world line in existence and, I don't know, control every aspect of society, by the
一体
way.
何が隠されている。タイムトラベルの人体実験やその実験で何百人と殺しているという情報は普通の PC でもハッキングで見ることができた。
Yeah, it's safe to say that they are pretty callous and uncaring when it comes to their own employees.
IBN5100 で構築されたデータベースにはそれ以上の極秘情報があるというのか。
And if only we'd have been actually able to hack into it beforehand.
知らない
I wish we did
末端だ
know.
からか。
My tone is sarcastic, but Moeka nods. Indeed she is.
なぜラボ
A
を
dead
襲っ
end.
た。いや、お前にとってはこれから襲うか。
分かっているはず
セルにもハッキングをしたからか。
理由は3つ
3 reasons, eh?
1つは知ったから君たちが
So CERN plans to silence us, even though that knowledge should actually affect your conscience there. So CERN did know about the hacking. I thought that was too convenient.
タイムマシン
Do you honestly believe that the CERN of this worldline plans to use time machines for good and justice?
君たちが作った
And probably everyone else made as well. CERN must be trying to monopolize the time travel technology,
決定
as
的だった
predicted
の
by
は
John Titor.
君たちがそのタイムマシンを 世間に公表しようとしたこと。
Well, thanks to you, we're putting the kibosh on that. Also, how did she know that? We made that decision right after the time leap machine was completed. That was only a few hours ago.
だから全員を拘束。
拘束？マユリを殺したではないか。
あの子は必要ない。
Unnecessary. I nearly pulled the trigger then and there.
タイムマシーンを作ったのは君とマキセと橋田だから。
And it does not ever belong to SERN.
あの子は殺しても構わない。そう言われた。
Something tells me that, you're pretty much in the same boat as Mayuri Sheena.
どうするつもりだった？
セルンの施設に監禁してタイムマシン実用化の研究を。
そうやってこれまでにもセルン以外のタイムマシン研究を潰してきたんじゃないか。
私は回収しろと言われただけ。
You are indeed a strange, sad little woman, and you have my pity. Farewell.
お前のことを一瞬でも仲間にした俺が間違いだった。
セルンのためすべて。
And you're probably going to die for CERN, but not by our hand, by any stretch of the imagination.
すべて。
Ah yes, your mysterious handler, FB. Your loyalty, Moeka Kiryu, is misplaced. You know nothing of the loyalty of the lab members and of Hououin Kiyoma, the insane mad scientist.
FB の指示に。
So Moeka is effectively either conditioned or brainwashed or just completely dependent on FB. It's the name of her handler, alright.
君なのジョン・タイターは。
Trust me, Moeka. If we were John Titor, we probably would have already tried to change the future ages ago.
何？
You seriously think that we're John Titor?
君しか。
There's no one else it could be.
何をバカな。
I dig the gun into Moeka's back.
それより死にたくなかったら今すぐにお前の仲間とそれと FB とやらに連絡しろ。ラボ襲撃は中止だと。
Moeka shakes her head.
そんな権限ない。
No, she's just a low-level agent,
知ったこと
unfortunately.
か。権限がなかろうが何とかするんだ。でないと殺す。
I can't do it. I'm not a murderer. My hands are trembling, just like Moeka's were before she shot Mayuri.
なんで殺したんだ。
She was hesitating before. She didn't want to pull the trigger, but she did.
お前もあんなことしたくなかったんだろう。なのになんで。
私は従うだけ。 FB に。
She's just a pawn. And probably conditioned to the point that even if FB actually told her to put a gun to her own head and pull the trigger, she would probably do that.
だったらその FB とかいうやつをここに連れてこい。
Looks like we're going to have to confront this mysterious FB directly if we need the answer, if we get the answers we need. But unfortunately, Moeka shakes her head
だ
again.
から そっちの事情なんて知ったことじゃないと。
無理なの。FB に会ったことは。
Something hard stabs into my back. A chill runs through my body. It seems that that little trap has been reversed. There's someone behind me. Apparently, Moeka's been using this monologue to stall for time. Oh, it's you, Mr. Crew Cut Man. A man's voice. Is he with Moeka? He's probably the guy with the assault rifle. I'm ready to pull the trigger in cold blood.
二人だけで会うと約束しただろう。
I don't think she cares much at this point. Moeka doesn't answer.
いいから銃を捨てろ。
タイムマシンは渡す。だから誰も殺すな。
Unfortunately, SERN is disinclined to acquiesce to our request. It means no.
だとしても
Even though I'm still pointing the gun at her, Moeka steps away and turns to face me. Her eyes are cold, her expression unreadable.
監禁して二度と出されない。
And that's a good thing, right? Moeka takes the gun from my hand. I'm unable to resist.
頼む。君のことを謝るから。誰も殺さないでくれ。
Something strikes the back of my head. My legs give out, instantly sending me to the ground. Darkness creeps in.
ターゲット B を確保。開始を頼む。
Deep down I knew I can't save Mayuri. Even if Moeka's group doesn't kill her, someone or something else will. The world itself wants her dead. That is the choice of Steins. Steins? There's no such thing. Those words have no meaning. It's just some nonsense I made up to sound cool. So, you probably already figured this out by now, but Steins means absolutely nothing whatsoever. As does reading Steiner. Steins doesn't exist, but fate does. Fate, God, the will of the universe, an absolute force that no one can resist. I thought that's what you called Steins, by the way. It exists, and it has sentenced Mayuri to death. And we're in a strange vehicle. I wake up in the back of a station wagon. The windows are coated with black film, so I can't tell where we are. I feel a throbbing pain in the back of my head. My hands are tied behind me. What time is it? How long have I been unconscious? There's a man with me inside the car. I recognize him from the previous time leap. He's the one who stabbed Mayuri in the taxi. The man seems to notice that I've woken up, but he doesn't speak. He just waves his gun menacingly, as if to say that there's no hope of escape. The dashboard clock reads 7:30. I look out the window again. Through the film I manage to make out a street sign. We're close to the lab. Has the attack already happened? Before I left, I told everyone, including Mayuri, to run. If she did as I said, she won't die by their hands. But that doesn't mean she's safe. If I don't do something, Moeka's going to take the time leap machine away. What will happen then? SERN can have the machine if it will save Mayuri, unless she keeps dying. The problem is that it won't. Not when the world itself is determined to kill her. As long as the time machine remains in my hands, I can keep trying to fix things. I'll leap again and again until I can find a way to save her. But if I lose the machine, then that future is decided. A future without Mayuri. I have to get it before they do, even if it means I might get shot. As long as I survive to reach the time leap machine, everything will be alright. It's time for some action, Rintaro. My bound hands limit me to headbutts and kicks, but I somehow manage to knock down the man guarding me and escape. My chest and neck are covered with blood. I must have been shot during the struggle, but thanks to the adrenaline pumping through my body, I barely feel any pain. And it looks like the light is on upstairs, so we need to get up to the lab. We can still move. That's all that matters. I run up the stairs with my hands tied. I can only pray that I'll be able to operate the time leap machine quickly enough. Let's go, Rintaro. Mayuri, Kurisu, and Daru are in the lab. So are Moeka and her men. When I open the door and burst in, everyone looks at me in surprise. Oh no. It's happening again. When she sees my tattered body, Mayuri runs up to me with tears in her eyes. I try to stop her. In the corner of my eye, I see Moeka take aim at Mayuri. I try to put myself between them. I cover Mayuri with my body, or try to anyway. But a man grabs me from behind and pulls me back. I watch, helpless, as Mayuri's tiny body drops to the floor. Her eyes, wide and wet with tears, seem to stare into mine. But I can see that they've already lost their light. She's gone. Mayuri Shina is gone. Again. Again. Another one. Another one. How many times? What happens next is the same as before. Suzuha defeats the Rounders and Kurisu helps me time leap again. Back we go. How many more times will we have to keep doing this, adventurers? Probably too many times, but this time we only jump back only a few hours. A flood of sound beats on my eardrums. I believe that is a good place to end the episode. When we return, adventurers, we shall try to calm ourselves down and try and find a way out of this nightmarish situation, and try and find a way to finally rescue Mayuri Shina from the miserable fates that await her. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.